Today we will discuss the role of carbon dioxide in energy balance and global warming of the Earth's surface. Actually, first of all, we should discuss about energy balance. So, what is energy balance? Actually, energy balance is the balance between the incoming energy from the sun and outgoing heat from the earth. Because the ultimate source of energy available on the earth's surface is sun. And if we assign the numerical value for the total incoming solar flux to 100, then the total 100 units are the solar flux which we receive. Out of this 100 units of solar radiation, a portion is reflected back and don't contribute towards the energy budget of the earth's surface. If we discuss the reflected portion, that includes 60 units from the earth's surface, 17 units due to clouds, 8 units by aerosol including dust, smoke, volcanic ash, etc. So we can conclude that the total reflectivity of the earth's surface is 31 units. The total flux which is coming to the earth's surface was 100. Out of that, the total reflectivity is 31 units. So if the total coming is 100, reflected is 31, so remaining 69 units of solar energy is the non-reflected portion, and out of that the 4 units are absorbed by the water droplets and 19 units by the aerosol. So these 23 units of the solar radiation reaching the earth is actually absorbed by the atmosphere, and remaining 46 units are absorbed by the land and water. This radiation which is reaching to the earth's surface strikes the earth's surface in the form of UV radiation, which is actually high energy shorter wavelength radiation, and sooner or later this amount of energy is re-emitted in the form of IR radiation, which are longer energy, longer wavelength and lower energy radiation. Once absorbed this relatively higher energy shorter wavelength UV radiations that take part in different reaction, biomass reaction, biochemical reaction in the earth's surface, and this situation is not the steady one. Sooner or later an amount of energy equivalent to the received must be re-emitted. This re-emitted energy can be trapped by carbon dioxide molecules which are present in the earth's atmosphere. Actually, carbon dioxide molecules have the capability to trap the re-emitted IR radiation. They trap this energy in the form of vibrational energy. And after some time, these carbon dioxide molecules come back to their ground state and releases this energy to the atmosphere and increases the surrounding temperature. If the re-emitted energy were completely lost in space, we are assuming that there is no carbon dioxide. So if the re-emitted energy were completely lost in space, we can predict the temperature of the earth's surface. That means we can predict the temperature of the earth's surface with no carbon dioxide. At that condition, the mathematical calculations which is based on black body emission predict an average global surface temperature of minus 19 degrees centigrade. But we know this is not the fact. The measured temperature of Earth's surface is plus 15 degrees centigrade, which is almost 34 degrees centigrade higher than the calculated value. If we compare the other planet for this fact, for the temperature difference, Earth has the difference of plus 34 degrees centigrade, Mars has plus 5 degrees centigrade difference. Venus has plus 505 degrees centigrade of temperature difference. And definitely this is because of the different carbon dioxide concentration in these planets. So the carbon dioxide was responsible to maintain the temperature of the Earth's surface to such an extent in which animal and vegetations can surely survive. This is the this is the carbon dioxide concentration year-wise graph in which the increasing concentration of carbon dioxide is shown with respect to the time. Hence, the greenhouse effect is the measure of the extent to which this absorption retains heat at the Earth's surface. But the fact is, not only carbon dioxide, but some other gases, which are known as carbon dioxide-like gases, which can reabsorb this re-emitted radiation and contribute towards the energy budget of the Earth's surface. These gases are methane, nitrous oxide, CFCs, ozone, etc. The efficiency of different greenhouse gases are compared with the other greenhouse gases, and it is found that if we assign the carbon dioxide as the greenhouse potential 1, then the methane will have the potential of 25 times more, and nitrous oxide will be 150 times, and CFC will have 10,000 times more impact on the environment. So finally, we will discuss some environmental impact of greenhouse gases. These are rise in atmospheric temperature, melting of polar ice caps, increase in tropical diseases, etc. So finally, we should discuss the modern trends to minimize the effect of global warming. These are ISO 14001 certification for an environmental management system, green manufacturing, which is not to harm the environment during any part of the manufacturing processes. The Kyoto Protocol, which is an international agreement of 159 countries. So these are the measures by which we can control the increasing concentration of carbon dioxide and carbon dioxide like gases in our environment.